The mic has been unmuted.
Go live or go home. That's what I always say.
Yeah, and where's us on here?
I don't know.
There we are. We're on there. Okay. So we'll give it a few minutes. Let people see if people want to join us.
Mm-hmm.
If not, that's okay. We can continue on with the podcast, and they can always listen later.
That's right. We could start this whenever we want. It's not like a regular show, like a network type of thing. We could do whatever we want.
Yeah, you know, it's just our own thing. Connie Cleary is the first one in the chat. Hello, Miss Connie.
Hello, Connie.
And yeah, I'm wearing these sunglasses because I'm fighting a migraine, and we use a lot of bright lights here in our little makeshift studio. So yeah, my it's like, you know, like Gizmo, bright light,
Mm-hmm.
or like a vampire.
Doesn't help that kind of a condition.
Yeah, so I thought, well, I still would like to try to do the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, well, I'll throw on some sunglasses.
There you go.
It's easier on my eyes right now.
Ooh.
Hey, Bone Jangler, Bone Jangler is joining us.
Oh, sweet.
Yay!
Good, because I'm going to show some guitars I got over at the flea market this weekend. I got 3 guitars I bought. And I usually don't buy instruments at the, musical instruments at the, for myself or to, I don't know why, because they're usually like over $100 or so, and I sometimes don't carry that kind of money with me so I don't spend it. But I did this time, and I spent it.
And then you spent it.
Yeah, I sure did. Even went to as far as firing up the one of the Venmo or whatever it is I have. I barely even use that, but I had to. But figure that all out.
These pieces that you found are very unique.
Yeah, they are, and they're definitely worth way more than what I paid for them.
You were telling me earlier that you want to tinker with them for a while and then probably flip them later.
Yeah.
So you have not listed them yet.
It's only been a couple days. I've been catching up with everything else. You know how me and my eBay is a little different than you. I mean, that's not my full time.
Yeah, it's my full time. So most of the stuff I buy is stuff that I want to put on eBay as soon as possible. Every now and then I'll get myself a few things, but
yeah, I'm listing tonight, so
I don't
stuff I bought.
I don't spend a lot of I'm very, very frugal with things. So.
But this trip, you bought more than I did.
Well, I did, and it added up pretty quick. And I'm like, how did I spend all this? How did I spend that already?
You spent $100, and I spent $320, something like a little north of $300.
Yeah. Well, at this particular flea, we went. So let's do an introduction.
We will. We're just doing a little pre-talk to kind of get people.
Yeah, let's talk about where we were.
Teasing stuff,
and then we could talk a little more about that. And Louie Kitty's here.
All right.
Hi, Lou.
I'll start it out then.
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Living the Scream.
The behind the scenes of the Mummy and the Monkey. I am Janet, the Mummy.
And I am James. I portray the Monkey. Grim Gory on our Friday night, late night, or let's say Friday night horror hosted show, The Mummy and the Monkey's Hairy Scary Hangout.
Yes. And I'm wearing shades because I'm so cool. No, I'm just kidding.
Future's bright.
My future's looking bright.
That old joke.
Cheesy jokes aside, yeah, I'm fighting a little bit of a headache thing going on.
She's married to me, so you think you'd be used to it by now.
So I threw on some shades.
Yeah.
So the bright lights don't hurt my eyes.
So this is a forum where we try to get together. We try to do it once a week,
We try. We haven't done a podcast in like 2 or 3 weeks. And that's just a darn shame.
Yeah, it is a dang shame, but
yeah, like what the hell?
Yeah, but but it's good because a lot of stuff, yard sales and stuff have been picking up lately because of the change of seasons, and we've done quite a few things here. Sorry, Louie. So we got some stuff to talk about for sure about that, and this is also a place where we talk about the things that, like Janet said, go behind the scenes of the Mummy and the Monkey, things we got coming up with our horror hosted show, and our adventures in reselling. The way we make our living as independent contractors.
The Mummy and the Monkey YouTube channel covers both. We are horror film hosts. On most Friday nights, we dress up in character and host a cheesy B movie with all of you. And then our other videos, like our vlogs and the podcast, talks about our other passion and my other job, reselling. I have an online store. I have an eBay store where
We both
I'm
do.
trying. Yeah, you have an eBay store too. I listed almost 30 items today.
Wow.
I was sorting through costume jewelry today and some other little figurines and trinkets, and I still have so much to sort through.
Yeah, you were in rare form this at the flea market this weekend. You know, it was just like perfect. You know, the weather was great. There were so many vendors on Sunday at the Berea Flea Market we go to, and they, you know, and some people were just had so much great stuff to go through. Mm-hmm. Even had a situation where
Yeah, the weather was real nice and mild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there, you know, you weren't sweating your butt off. It wasn't creating weird, you know, issues with your health. You know, talking about you indirectly, or you know, where you get tired or fatigued from the heat. You know, there wasn't a lot of that going on.
No, I mean, I was just tired in general,
Yeah.
but I was okay. You know, we were walking through, and
yeah, it was manageable. And there was even a situation where I wish I had more to talk about.
well, we also went an hour earlier than the time we normally go. We got there ungodly early.
Yeah, but it's not because, like I said, you
But we
have
got
to
there
find the stuff, and I think you found more stuff. That way.
in hopes of getting first dibs on things.
When we were like really like finding stuff, I looked at my phone, and it was like the time we would usually get there is it right we. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's 8:30.
And it was like, oh, we've already been here like over an hour.
We found stuff, and I think it's because we were there early that we found so much.
And then we
good
got
stuff.
to get out of there early, and then the rest of the day was ours.
We
It
were
was
out
like,
we were there by
okay,
11, right?
I could go home and take a nap. I could go and do some housework.
But you know, this is
take care of the cats.
But this is 101 for this.
We were good.
Yeah, I mean, no one goes to the flea market the last hour. I mean, if you do that or halfway through, you should just realize you're not going to get anything that's really good is really gone. And that, you know, and I started seeing more of that because we were early. I had 2 instances at the same vendor where I lost one thing and I almost lost another because of just the time. That stuff was there all morning and nobody bought it. But then it gets kind of weird.
Yeah, but if you don't make a decision and you walk away, someone else could buy it.
And we know that's another, you know.
Because you were kind of hemming and hawing and you were like trying to decide on what.
Well, my decision.
Because you were on the fence about buying some things.
Yeah, and my decision was money.
And I'm like, well, just make a decision, and then if it's gone, it's gone.
Right.
You know?
I mean, that's with anything there. I
you know, if you walk away, someone else could buy it, for sure.
I totally understand that, but I had to figure out, we were a little over halfway through at that point, and I only had so much money on me, and that would have wiped me out. So that was my question.
So then you weren't sure if you wanted to run to the ATM or whatever.
There's a reason why. Yeah, I didn't hem and haw.
Well, you were kind of like,
I was trying to decide.
I don't know,
well,
should I, shouldn't I?
Well, hemming and hawing sounds like you.
Isn't that what that means? It's just
a little bit, but
kind of, you know. You were on the fence.
Yeah, only because there's a couple reasons why. We'll talk about that situation because I think it's really interesting. But what do you want to talk about first? You want to do Mummy and Monkey first, or you want to do the reselling? What do you think, Louie?
Let's do Mummy and Monkey first, because I don't think that will take up that much time.
Perfect.
And then the reselling part, you could go into more detail if you want. But real quick,
long form, they call that.
Bone Jangler, hello. Connie Cleary, hello. Mark Davis and Mr. Tracy, hello. Anani Moose is here. Wiki Bobby's here.
Oh.
Did I say Mark Davis? I think I did already. But anyway, hi guys. Louie. Glad you're all here.
Say hi, Louie.
And if you guys missed the live feed, that's okay. You can always go back and watch this later. We also have a vlog coming out at 9:15 p.m. tonight.
Ooh, that's right.
Showing our video vlog from the Hartville Flea Market
weekend.
From last, not
the weekend last, right?
The week before.
Yeah.
The week before last.
Yeah.
From Memorial Day weekend.
Yes, there you go. It was on a
go
Monday. It was on the Monday.
It was on a Monday fun day, yeah.
Right, Louie? It was on Memorial Day holiday. Memorial Day.
Wiki Bobby says, I got Salem on me petting her. So he's got his cat too.
That's a good name for a cat. Is
it
a black cat?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he has shared pictures of his cat.
That's
Salem.
right. That's right.
Very cool.
Okay. All right. So, Mummy Monkey.
So, Mummy and the Monkey. So, okay. Some exciting news, and we shared it online last episode and a little bit earlier in the week on our Facebook fan page. We were picked up by WRTNLD in the Nashville area and the suburbs of Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee.
So we will be on TV there Mondays and Thursdays. They'll be playing some past shows, some stuff from our YouTube. Pretty much we gave them permission to to air, whatever they think would work for their television channels.
To hack up our episodes and to make it fit,
to
whatever.
make it fit for the channel.
Yeah, that's the one thing about our program is that it's kind of done on a live sort of platform.
There's no sort of, it is done live.
Yeah, so I'm just being sort of
Yeah.
But so I know it's difficult where it might not translate well to something that's not live, but we'll see. I mean, there is a way you can chop some stuff out, and I think that's what they're doing. He's going to go and edit some of the material. And if it's if you just want to watch us talk, and that's what we try to do anyway. That's why I want to keep a lot of the show. I do want to do interaction with the audience who can in the chat see what's going on. But I think we have a lot of other stuff going on too with the show that doesn't rely on just that. So
yeah, like our straight to video stuff. Like I sent them a bunch of that, and then
that could work better.
What's also really cool. So our horror host friend Mr. Molto from Morbid Mansion Theater, he's on a television station in the Troy, Michigan area. The gentleman who does the programming or producing for that public access channel also emailed us asking if we wanted to be on their channel too.
Right.
So we were like, yeah, that's awesome. So technically we're going to, even though YouTube, we're all over the world with YouTube.
Which is
awesome. But it's also awesome that we were picked up by a couple more, television stations. Because for a while it was just, Public Media Network. And we love Public Media Network. They think it's awesome that they host our simulcast.
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
And they're out of Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Yeah, but the cool thing, they do show our program at night too, almost every night, don't they? Rerun old stuff.
Yes, almost every night at midnight. And what's cool is there's another good show on there called Frankie. That's horror theme related, where they show independent short films. They show music videos. They do interviews. And they've got a bunch of cool different characters on their show. So,
I want episodes of that on DVD really bad.
Yeah, I'd love to see more of it.
Yeah, God, that'd be something like to pop in when I'm out hanging out.
But Frankie comes on after our show on PMN.
Yeah.
So once we're done with the Harry Scary Hangout, then they play episodes of Frankie on there. So that's fun. So we're going to be on, so not only Kalamazoo, but now Troy, Michigan, and surrounding cities. It's like 11 different cities.
Right. And why that's important to us is that, I guess, in the circle, we'll just say the horror host circle, or I would say anything that's like on television versus something that's that's on the internet, which to me, I don't see any difference in it anymore. I think that veil has been lifted. Other than one is commercially sponsored, and so is the YouTube, and so is some other venues that allow people to stream. I mean, someone is paying for that sort of they're paying for that ad space, but it validates our show in a way, I guess, to say at least but yeah, I guess it's technically on television. Yeah,
so technically it is on TV, even though you can watch us anywhere on YouTube. There are still some old school people that like their regular TV. And I get it, sometimes I watch the local news, sometimes I flip through the local channels. I still watch a lot of YouTube, but I'll watch a little bit of regular TV too from time to time. So, hey, and if it helps us get more YouTube views, maybe if one can help the other, right? It's like a symbiotic thing.
So we're just happy that's going on.
We're happy that people even care to have us on there.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe locally, in our own hometown, something will happen because of this. We don't know. Oh. But
yeah, Mark says CMNT 12 o'clock midnight Saturday and Sunday mornings till 2 a.m.
I gotta say,
and that'll be starting in July.
Wow.
So we're not on there yet. I believe he said July. So
okay. So that would be interesting. But yeah, so, things like that are good to happen. We like that.
David, okay, let's read some comments.
Sure, please.
And then we'll talk a little more. Good evening. Happy Monday, he says. Happy Monday.
Hey, David.
Absolutely loved Voodoo Black Exorcist.
Yeah, I mean, that's our kind of movie, I think, that kind of cheesy, weird.
It's cheesy, and it was just fun to show, like, a 70s movie because we show a lot of black and white, like really old stuff from the 1940s, and sometimes it's just like, ooh, something a little more modern.
No, and that's
yeah. Even though it's like not the best movie.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Ooh, the 1970s modern. John says, hello, thank you for showing my major mud picture on your page. The picture was taken back in the 60s, and yes, that is an authentic 60s era spacesuit and helmet he's wearing.
Huh.
Oh, he probably means the group. He shared it in the Mummy and the Monkey Facebook group. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Cool, very cool.
Wiki Bobby, I've been watching horror movies since the 70s with the ghoul, a.k.a. Ron. Sweet. Very cool, Bobby. Awesome. Okay, and then appearances. So we are going to be... Oh, Louie, he's laying down here. He's like, pet my belly.
Mm-hmm.
So, in July, I have to double check the date. I wrote it down. But we will be making an appearance at a comic book shop.
That's
and
right.
It's one of our favorite comic book stores in Northeast Ohio. It's called North Coast Nostalgia. And we'll be making an appearance there in Parma, Ohio.
In-store appearance. I think this is our first actual in-store appearance, right? In a comic book shop.
I think so.
Official.
Our first ever official comic book shop appearance.
Yeah.
But there was a comic book or a collectible shop that started following us on Instagram. That's in Medina.
Well, there was that one that did we appear that one in Akron, or we just kind of went and interviewed Eddie Muntz, what's his name, Butch Patrick there. We didn't appear there. We just kind of.
Yeah,
we showed up.
We weren't invited. We just sort of showed up as
arranged that. Yeah,
as fanboys and
But
ghouls.
we had that arranged, though. I mean, Butch Patrick knew we were going to interview him and stuff like that.
No, he didn't know. Well, we asked him before.
Oh, okay.
We did ask him a little bit before, like early in the day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was just sort of a, hey, let's just go and get video and have fun.
Butch. Yeah.
We didn't really plan that one too much.
No.
But that was a lot of fun. That was several years ago.
And then they had that incident. They just opened and they had an issue with the property, the building. The building, literally the roof caved in on there, like a hot water heater was up. It fell through the ceiling.
Yeah, and damaged a lot of their stuff.
All their comic books and stuff. A lot of them got just messed up. Mm-hmm. That's horrible. But yeah, they moved, I think, since then. But anyway.
And then we've got there's another convention in, I believe it's in the beginning of August. It's called Gross Fest in the Pittsburgh area.
Ew.
We're going to go there for one day.
Gross.
It's a one-day little independent horror film event.
Looking forward to that.
And we're looking forward to it. They asked if we wanted to be there as guests, and we're like, yeah, let's give it a try. And the dude that runs it, Tim Gross, he does movie reviews. I think he might do his own videos here and there. Maybe he might be involved with some independent films himself. Yeah. Really nice person, and he has been a vendor and attendee at Cinema Wasteland for many years.
Yeah, and the being invited as a guest is very nice, and I'll just say that
we haven't
in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where you're. Okay.
I think you are. Because I'm seeing some things now that have changed at one venue, that in the past when we requested just to be put on the list as guests at a certain horror convention, because we are guests at Cinema Wasteland, we could say that.
Yes,
we're on the website.
They do put us on the website as a guest.
And guess what? We still pay for the table. We still have to do everything every vendor there does. We don't get any special treatment, and we didn't expect none.
No.
And we relayed this to another venue.
There was another convention,
yes,
and that shall not be named.
No.
Where we would get a table.
We attended one year.
We attended, and we asked.
We went there twice.
We went there 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And we we brought that up. Just requested that we could be put on the website.
So we don't want any other special. We're not expecting any free tables.
Yeah, we weren't asking
like
for anything
we'll pay for the
free.
table,
we were just asking to be put on the website as guests.
Yeah, because if nothing else, it gives you you clout as an entertainer or as a personality, and you could use that in your dossier. Say we were guests at such and such and such, and we're already guests at other horror conventions, so why not just keep that going?
Because we've already had some good luck with other shows where they put us on the site as a guest, and it's been a lot of fun. You know,
and it just again, and you're right up, and it's cool because you're right up there with all these other guests, and yes, have these other people have certain amounts of fame and stuff like that. Sure, they do, but in our own little realm, I mean, we
really it wouldn't have been a big deal.
It
just some typing something up on their website, and then we send in the photo to put on there or whatever.
Well, we were told no, that can't be done. And they were like, okay, fine. But now they're doing that. That same venue has recently been putting other horror hosts with the same amount of, visibility as we have ever had. And
maybe less.
And maybe even less.
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But the point is, it's not like Elvira or something like that, or or Joe Bob Briggs.
It's an indie person.
It's an indie
there's
horror
other
host.
Well, anyway.
But now, guess what? They're guests. It's like, and I think that I think it's a rub, but it might not have been.
Well, with certain things, and we all know this. Sometimes things are cliquey. Sometimes people are cliquey, kind of like high school. Fine. And they're in like the 30th grade or the 40th grade.
But in the horror host? No way.
No, in adulthood in general. I'm saying in general.
I know, but
whether it be horror hosting or in an office type of setting at a workplace.
I know, but
there is a very cliquey thing with humans in general.
I know, but I was saying, I'm
trying not to get too particular.
Me neither, but I was going to make that funny thing that I've always thought was interesting. What, you mean a bunch of people who are way too old to be doing what we're doing, dressing up like characters who should have everything in common, are cliquey? I guess so.
I guess so.
But
it's really silly.
We're all in that same boat, and yet there's still these weird things. But anyway, so it's like it's something we've asked for, and now it seems like an afterthought. And I don't, are they adding everybody as guests now? I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, so it's all fine. I mean, there's other stuff to do.
And we're not going to like. So before the pandemic, we went to a ton of different conventions. Yeah. Tried to go to every little show, every little event, and we were burned out, honestly.
Well, that was another thing.
And then the pandemic hit, and then we missed all of it.
Well, and one thing we wish all the venues luck and all the conventions luck.
And now things are different because we are also caretakers. So we try to...
Well, our time is very...
And our time is... It's like a whole different thing.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Some stuff happened in life. Yeah, and
but that's life.
Now we're not doing as many shows.
That's all right. Well, we'll work around it. We'll do what we can.
Yeah.
And and that's all that really matters. So we wish all the other events, the best, and hopefully everyone does well. I mean, that's not the issue.
Okay. David says, my mom used to get her hair done right next door to North Coast Nostalgia at Ricky's. I'd often walk in and look around and make purchases if mom wasn't ready yet when I picked her up.
Yeah.
Aw. Janet, have you heard anything about Ghoulardi's Fest, says Amanda Childers.
Oh, that's the one we would have done.
Ooh, I wish there was I really wish we had some news to share.
We were guests there too, aren't we?
We were guests
there. Of course.
Well, we've been attending Ghoulardi Fest as the Mummy and the Monkey since 2015.
Yeah.
So the first, we were put on the website as a guest.
That's probably.
They were the people running Ghoulardi Fest have been very kind. And generous and
over the with above and beyond, which again, not expected, but it's nice,
And Ghoulardi Fest,
we respect it.
We like Ghoulardi Fest was one of the really good shows for us that was local. So we don't have any updates on it. I have a feeling that it might not happen because they were having trouble securing a location.
It's too late to
I think they waited.
For this year.
I honestly think it was.
But you never know.
Yeah. It wasn't. With these events, you need to book a location so far in advance.
I mean, and because of COVID and because of the pandemic shutting everything down. As soon as stuff reopened, people were booking stuff way ahead, and just to make up for all that lost time that they did, whoever didn't get to do shows, weddings, whatever,
Yeah.
Whatever because most of these places can be rented for almost any event.
Yes, and now that everything's back open, everything books up fast.
You got to get it quick.
I'm sure a lot of weddings and other events were put on hold.
You never know what's going to be in there.
So we don't know yet. I would love to see another Ghoulardi Fest. I would love to because Ghoulardi Fest had such a cool we like Cinema Wasteland for all the indie movies and stuff like that. Ghoulardi Fest is more of a Cleveland nostalgia type of thing. It's got it's a lot of good retro feels.
It's a different audience. It's a different vibe, but
so they're both good conventions. It's just the different feelings.
Right.
Yeah, we miss Ghoulardi Fest.
Absolutely.
David Phillips, are movies shown at Gross Fest? Yes, they do have movie screenings there, and you get to meet a lot of the indie directors.
I am so looking forward to. I don't know.
So
why.
I think
it's going to be fun.
I think that's going to be really fun. It sounds like it's going to be a more chill, laid back event maybe less structured because it's just a 1-day thing. I think they're going to do 2 days next year.
Oh, wow.
But I like that it's not a whole 3-day, thing. Yeah. You just go for the day, hang out, talk with people, and you're good. You could go home.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Wiki Bobby, he hasn't heard anything about Ghoularty Fest.
It doesn't sound like it. There could be one last one at some point, but to give it some closure, send off type of deal. But I don't know. Wish I knew. Any other good questions or anything?
Let's see. I'm reading some comments. Scott is he put a quote from the movie Raising Arizona. Mm-hmm. Well, this whole thing is just who knows who. Then over here you have your favoritism. Well, could be. But okay, so I think we talked about the appearances. We talked about updates with the Mummy and the Monkey show.
Working on this week's show.
We're trying to pick out a movie. We have. Last week I grabbed a handful of movies and gave them to you on a card.
I'll pick one out probably later tonight and start.
That were like YouTube safe.
Yep.
Meaning I put them into YouTube and YouTube's like, okay, you could play it. So.
But still not Star Wars.
No,
You're trying to put that through, and it's...
No, he's joking. Let's see. We've got a Garas fan. He's watching.
Hopefully
Hello,
you said
and
that
Neil.
Right.
Yeah, I butchered that name. There's yeah.
He might be joking when he says you don't know how to pronounce it right.
He might be joking.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone would know how to pronounce that.
Okay, and...
Hey, Janet sounds like Stasha. Wait a minute.
Just kidding, Stasha doesn't talk.
Bingo.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, she does. You just never get to hear her. There's always some reason why, you got laryngitis.
She does talk, but you guys just never hear her.
Yeah, that's the weird thing.
Yeah. And
for some reason.
Personally, I know I'm not the greatest with voicing and character acting, so I thought it would be best she just didn't talk. And it was just a throwback, a little tip of the hat to Stosh or Stanley from the Big Chuck and Little John
skits. He barely
skits.
said anything.
And he never really talked. So.
There might be one or two skits where he said something, but it was mostly like a an old, like a silent movie thing,
Mm-hmm. It was done in pantomime or whatever.
But his wife would always yell at him, and he would never say nothing.
Well,
Stanley, what are you
doing?
He
knew better.
Look at you, you lazy. Look at why I married you. I never know. And then he would just shrug and that's true. I mean, I think we kind of figured it out from between that and
mm-hmm.
some other factors, but it just worked out. I think Stash is more popular than Mummy and the Monkey.
I think so. Maybe one day she'll have to have her own spin-off sitcom or something.
I like it. No one questions that either about the Stasha bit. It has nothing to do with monsters or anything scary. But I think but even if you're not, I think if you're from Cleveland or Northeast Ohio, that you would understand that it's homage to the Big Chuck and Little John skit stuff.
But then if you're not, it's
but no one's questioning that.
It's just kind of silly,
comedy
humor,
relief.
Yeah.
But it has nothing. But you would think it would have something to do with but it doesn't. Monsters or something scary.
Well, maybe we could have more.
Nah, we did the Night of Living Dead.
We did do the Night of Living Dead skit with her.
That was good. No, I think you don't change the formula. Leave it be. It's working. Because I think if you don't have people that aren't familiar with what we're paying homage to, that still don't ask the question, we're doing something right.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep.
All right, so I guess that'll wrap up the Mummy and the Monkey discussion for now. And if you guys have any questions, comments, complaints, concerns, whatever, you could put it in the comments below.
Yeah.
And we'll let you know there. So we're gonna switch gears here and talk about our reselling and thrifting and scavenging adventures.
Yes.
And we went to another flea market this weekend. We went to the Hartville Flea Market on Memorial Day weekend on Monday. And I did put the video. It will be on our YouTube channel tonight for you guys to watch.
Yeah.
We did not video anything this weekend, unfortunately.
But I don't know. Yeah.
But we were just kind of in the zone, on the hunt. So we were just very, focused on that.
And we've talked about this before, or we may not have, but between you and I, we have. When we have to video and stuff like that, you're sort of thinking about what you're doing with the one hand, as it were. And not paying attention and not really seeing what else is around you. And I'm already missing stuff without the camera around me. And so to have that on us and just try to be conscious of where it is, because you just look through the the footage that from
Yes.
from Memorial Day, and you noticed that even though you were shooting all the time, it had a weird angle going on.
Yeah, so I was going through the video earlier this afternoon, and I'm looking at the GoPro footage, and I had it clipped. I wear a backpack, and I had it clipped to the backpack. I even had my hair tied back, but somehow my hair still got in the shot. It was a weird angle where the camera must have bumped, and like, right. Everyone could look up my nostrils. Yeah. It was like the weirdest angle ever. So a lot of that I chopped out.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough to sometimes like manage a camera and do shopping.
Right.
And there's a lot of people on YouTube who will try to video their yard sale visits, if they go to a flea market, if they go to an antique store. I think maybe in a store it might be easier because you could probably like
I think
set the camera on the shelf.
I think GoPro figured it out though. They had that harness, and it looks ridiculous. To me, it looks like you're a SWAT guy or something, but you have like all this huge harness.
Oh yeah, they do.
Like Iron Man, you clip the thing out right in the middle, and you walk around, and obviously that would be the best.
Well, that's the thing. I think for when we had the older GoPro, I did wear that once, and people were
so obvious.
People were looking at me funny, like, "What are you wearing?"
Yeah.
And I think one person asked if it was like a police camera.
Jeez, like a body cam.
And I didn't want to freak people out, so. I thought, okay, I'll clip it to the backpack or just maybe walk around with it and just video a little bit with it in my hand. Because I want it to look as, you don't want it to look intimidating or weird.
Yeah, people still will hone in and ask that question. Was that a camera or was that a GoPro? And it's like, are you filming this? It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Just for our YouTube, just to show, people like to see. But people are getting way better now. I mean, they're ignoring that as much.
Yeah. Well, and then some people ask, like when we're out, hey, don't video me. And I'll say, okay, I'm just videoing the items on the table.
Oh, yeah, we get that.
And then I explain to them, we have a YouTube channel and we like to show the cool stuff we find.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to, we try not to film people as much as possible in their faces anyway.
Right.
And we try to get more of the product on the
table. More of the items and less of the people.
But yeah, so we went to Memorial Day, we went to Hartville, and I was loaded for bear, ready to go. I barely bought anything there.
Yeah, you didn't find as much. I found a ton of costume jewelry that I'm still sorting through. And then I found more jewelry over the weekend. Yeah. And then little trinkets and little figurines and things. And...
Yeah, I bought a little bunch of... This one guy we went to, this one vendor, we just should have stayed at his table and dug through everything twice. Because he had a lot of cool stuff.
We could have shopped his table and then been good. We could have just left and then went to the yard sales.
Yep. Didn't even think about that. Because you always think there's going to be 10 more tables like this guy.
No,
because this place is huge, It
is a giant flea market because not only do they have the outside part in the summer months, but year round they have indoor flea market booths. Plus they've got a food court. They've got like outlet stores. It's kind of like a little country town shopping mall.
Yeah.
It's like the country bumpkin version of a shopping mall.
Is it Hartville or Jamie's that has that other little, when you drive away, there's that other little pavilion one?
That might have been Jamie's.
Is that, maybe, what I'm talking about? It's about maybe a mile away from it or so.
What's the one in North Ridgeville, Ohio? I don't remember.
There's Jamie's, Hartville, and there's another one too.
But yeah, there's one we went to that had an indoor, another one that, it was smaller though, but it had an indoor and outdoor spot.
Yeah, that was Jamie's.
And they had like a couple different smaller buildings you could walk through.
But then when you drive away, I remember there's like a totally separate different like venue, like another one. It was under like a long pavilion, wooden pavilion, remember? And do you remember those?
No,
oh gosh, yeah,
I don't remember
we've been there twice, I think, when we would drive away from the flea market, and it would be like, oh, there's another thing.
Yeah, and, I don't remember that.
We'll talk about it later. I'll try to jog your memory.
But let's read some comments. Matthew says, do you guys eat at those big flea markets and whatnot? Or do you stop before or after at chain restaurants?
Good question.
Good question.
And something that I definitely... Okay, so next time we go...
So last year at Hartville... Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to say who the vendor was, but we ate something there, and it didn't agree with our bellies.
Well, between the heat...
And plus, it was very hot out that day.
It was very hot.
So I think it was a combination of maybe the food...
Ingredients.
The ingredients and the heat.
Which were just... it was basically dough. It was a giant donut.
It was like fried dough.
And it was good.
It tasted great, but it was probably too...
oily or
too oily or greasy or something.
Ultimately, because your heat, maybe the way your body deals with the oil and the water. I don't know. But
this time around, we did get a bite to eat inside the
which is almost
food
impossible.
Court.
I'm not.
Which
a big
was
fan.
a little bit better, but it was way too crowded.
You can't sit
So I
anywhere.
think next time we're just gonna pack our own lunches.
We're gonna pack a lunch. We're gonna
bring
have a mini cooler
with sandwiches.
Mini cooler sandwich and one of those pole wagons, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
We'll be good to go.
90s too hot, says Mr. Tracy. Yeah, I think it was like in the 90s.
It was bad. It was brutal.
It was last year.
It wasn't quite brutal. Well, last year was brutal.
That was really brutal.
Yes.
Yeah.
One year I got stung 3 times by something that flew up my shirt. I don't know if it was an ant or if it was
some bug got you.
Or a bee or something, but I felt it go. I felt those zap, zap, zap. And I did this, and I saw something fly out or fall out, and I couldn't find it.
I forgot about that.
I thought it was a giant ant or something. Yeah, and then as the day went on, I just got these 3 huge welts.
Garrus says, so thrifting is an all-day thing for you guys when you do it? Not necessarily. Sometimes we'll just stop by one store, if we're out running errands. But
if it were up to me, it would be all day.
If we're going to a place that's farther away,
we make a day of it.
We want to make a day of it or a chunk of the day.
Now, and
then head home to make sure we looked at everything and
when we do the Goodwill bins, the outlet bins, that's a day.
That's a day.
And then
because we're there for like 2 or 3 hours,
which seems like
10
hours.
The one we don't go to these very often, no. But when we do, we want to make a day of it.
Yeah, we do because they're farther out too, and that's another example of that. They're farther out. We used to have one in Cleveland that was only open for a hot minute and then closed. But we would definitely have been going there more often. Every week we'd probably go there.
Yeah, I really miss the Cleveland Goodwill bins. There was a bin store that was we've talked about it before. So
this past weekend we went to the Berea Flea Market, which is our regular one, which is not far at all from where we live, and but at the same time, we totally forgot that there was another street yard sale going on called Archwood.
The Archwood street sale was also going on the same weekend, and we forgot it was that weekend.
Saturday and Sunday. We didn't do anything Saturday.
But when we went to the flea market, there weren't a lot of people there. There were a ton of vendors.
Yes.
There was a lot of stuff, but there weren't a lot of shoppers, which was nice.
Really easy to shop.
It was like, we got the flea market to ourselves. There were still people, but it wasn't that crowded.
And I overheard vendors talking about how no one's buying anything. Like, how? There's like so much good stuff.
Yeah.
You got a ton.
Yeah. Matthew goes, what's Goodwill bins? Is it like those Amazon resale bin stores?
No.
Yes. Yes. Let me explain. I
didn't say you couldn't.
So,
I just said no.
The Goodwill outlets, the formal name for it is the Goodwill outlet stores. And I call them Goodwill bin stores because they dump everything into these giant bins on wheels. And it's stuff that didn't sell at the other Goodwill stores, or maybe it's just a bunch of stuff they didn't have time to sort through. And they dump it all in these bins, and they sell a lot of the stuff by the pound. And then, like books, furniture, some of the heavier items, they price it differently. But like clothing and housewares and toys and just random junk and stuff, they sell it by the pound. And you load up your shopping cart with whatever, and they weigh your cart. And that's how they ring you out.
So it's nothing like the Amazon bins, which is a totally different product and a totally different way to sell.
It's a discount bin. Right. It's the whole idea of digging. So
my answer was correct.
Well, yes and no. It's the whole idea of digging for your bargain. Looking for bargains.
Well, the shopping model is the same, but what they offer is totally different. The Goodwill bin outlets, whatever you want to call it, is old donated stuff. The Amazon outlets, or whatever they want to call those, wherever they get their product from, it's return stuff and overstock. But it's all new.
Return
newish
stuff, overstock, like stuff that didn't sell in the stores.
Right.
A lot of those bin stores, it's like the Target graveyard. There's a lot of nice clothing stuff from TR. Yes, we are.
Okay. This is a Monday night.
Yeah, I don't know.
Boop. Beep.
So it says it's reconnecting, guys. I'm sorry. Reconnection successful.
Yeah.
It's spinning. Okay, refresh your screen, guys. I think it'll be okay now.
Can they hear us say that?
Can you hear us okay? Matthew says, down in Columbus, Goodwill used to get sort of like Target donations. They would split the money somehow with Target.
Yeah, they do that at Goodwill stores. There's those shelves that they have the red Target tag.
A lot of that stuff is like stuff you'll see in those like Amazon bin stores. Yeah,
that could show up there. Sure.
Okay, cool. You guys are back. We're all back.
All right. Yeah.
We just had a weird little hiccup in the connection there.
Yeah. So anyway, so hopefully that answered the question if you heard all that, because we went all the way around the world.
So why don't you show what you
do you have any show and tell?
You show yours first.
Ladies first.
I don't have a lot to show. I listed a lot of stuff.
You don't have any? Okay.
I have it listed and put away.
All right, sure. Well, you don't have anything then.
Well, I mean, I just have a little bag of stuff that I could show.
Oh, okay.
And then I could talk about my Cartier find.
Oh, yeah. We can end it with that and then my thing that I missed out on, because I thought it would be a better thing to have happened had I been able to do a certain thing.
Okay,
anyway,
so
here's some fun stuff I found. I bought these records, these 45s, for only one. The guy was selling this for $5. I felt generous that day. I was like, eh.
I forgot something.
Yo.
I'll go get it. Carry on.
See, I told you got stuff. But I bought it for this one record. I have no idea what it sounds like or what the song is. But it's called it's called The Monster by Billy Ford and the Thunderbirds. I have no idea I'm thinking it's you're driving.
Reconnection successful. Okay, guys. Sorry about that.
I wish it would make a noise when it would go offline so we would know.
It says successfully connected.
Okay.
Okay, so you can continue.
Oh, well, thank you. I picked up this thing. What is this thing? Contains post-it notes. Ah! This said, that's what this is. There's post-it notes in here. I was wondering they're definitely not oil.
Didn't you think it was a bank or something?
I just thought it was a display thing. But it says contains post-it notes. Well, I don't. Oh, you just open it up like a regular can. All right. Well, this is. Well, it was only $1. I thought it was weird to pick up. I found these old, pretty neat, and I think they still do have elasticity. These old suspenders.
I've sold vintage suspenders before. There are dudes that still wear suspenders.
Yeah, they got. Yeah, who knows? Imported elastic. Ooh. What did Larry King call them? The braces. I'm wearing the braces. I guess that was one of his signature things. Larry King has his
the suspenders.
This was kind of neat. It's an MC Escher, like one of those little puzzles that you do, like those little. We cut off. We're going.
No, we're good. I just wanted to check the screen and make sure.
I didn't look this up yet, but I know these can sell. So for some pretty good money, depending on what the subject is. I found a talking calculator. Ooh, sometimes this stuff's weird. It can go. I don't know. I didn't look it up. But
sometimes retro calculators are a thing. I do sell them from time to time, but I know there's also a ton of resellers that also look for calculators.
Bought this ashtray. It says, "Heaven will protect the working girl," and I think that is a reference to the oldest profession in the world.
The ladies of the evening.
Yes, as it were. Anything else that's really, really good in here? Not really. Got this old radio, and then I'll show you some comic books I got too. This old radio.
That radio is freaking cool.
This I got for $10. I think I could sell it probably for $75 or $100, but I might keep it.
Radios take a long time to sell.
Yeah, I might keep it and just throw a Bluetooth speaker in there and just use it to listen to stuff on.
Because I have sold retro radios, but some of them take a while to sell.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking I might keep it. I got it cheap enough, so
yeah,
I might just want to play around with it.
I mean, $10, that's a good find.
Found this cool little Hellboy figure for $1.
He's cute.
He's really neat. Little vinyl, probably Kid Robot, something like that. Found some comical books.
Neil says I get those and old cameras. Some old cameras can be good. I haven't had a lot of luck selling them, though. Like, I've sold some before, but they sit forever.
Found some comic books for $1 a piece. Thought they were kind of neat. The Phantom, everybody knows that one. Vampirella and Witchbraid. Witchbraid. That's a hair that has a braid in it. Witchy. Madman comics. Pretty fun. This is a really weird comic. I think I have a few issues laying around, and I just bought a bunch of other ones called Gun Fury. It's this really weird character. It's a goofy comic, but I love it. It's really, really wacky. And then I saw these right away, and why do you think I bought these? Anne Rice's The Mummy. I mean, right there, I saw that. I'm like, what? Janet Decay, the comic.
See, and I didn't even, I like Anne Rice, but I didn't know she made those. So
well, she didn't, but somebody adapted her comic, her stories to comics.
That's so weird.
And now, let me get to this good stuff.
They made a comic of me. I'm kidding.
Yeah, they beat me to it. So here's here are the guitars that I got at the flea market. Is there a difference between a flea market and a swap meet? I don't know.
I think it's similar.
The same thing, right?
I think it's similar.
So these are this one's really weird. I think these were all from the same owner because they have like, a marijuana leaf on one and there's a Grateful Dead sticker type of thing on the other. But this is kind of weird because, well, the shape is very strange.
Real quick, Wiki Bobby says that Record of the Monster is a 50s novelty song.
Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah.
So, check this out. Check out the headstock on this thing. It's really interesting.
Check out the what?
The headstock. That's called the headstock on a guitar. I'm gonna learn you something. And the neck is all the way. It was a piece that was added on, but it's all welded on, and they even bolted it on, even though it's sort of like.
Matthew's asking, are those homemade?
This one could be.
It looks very unique.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
What type of wood is that case made out of?
I would have no idea what the wood is.
Because it looks.
The case? What are you talking about?
No, like the wood part.
The case, the wood,
or whatever you call it.
Does it look like like a piece of plywood? Yeah, it does.
Like, I'm not sure what
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not a wood expert, even though I should be.
I wasn't sure if it was like maybe like something fancy, like teak or something like that.
It's light. I know that it's not that super heavy, but it's very strange. Maybe Bone Jangler might know something about these. I think this one could be like, if not Japanese, which I don't think it is, it could be like Filipino or something like that. Something I looked up similar. Came up like Indonesia or Filipino. I don't know.
Bone Jangler says that guitar is like a Strat, an SG,
it's everything.
An old Vox teardrop guitar, a Fender Mustang.
Yeah.
Wild.
It's all over the place.
So it's like all of the guitars.
Like there's this the SG part right here. I see what he's saying. And the teardrop, and it's very strange.
So it's like a Heinz 57
but
guitar.
That I got for $60. I got this one also for $60. It doesn't have any markings either. Look, someone was trying to sell this for $10 or $110, right?
Maybe that's what it was.
I think it's $10, and the other one had $1.50 written on the back of it.
Maybe they meant like $150.
But yeah, this one they were both have a $200 price tag. But the guy we bought it from was like, "Don't worry about that. That was the sale I got it at. He probably he does clean outs, so he probably got it from an estate sale. But I got this for $60 as well. This is definitely a Japanese guitar. It might be a Kimberly brand, but again, there's no branding.
I like the chrome accents there. Yeah, there's like a design on the chrome on the bottom.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's like a see.
No, that's all chipping.
Are those scratches?
I think that's.
Oh, I thought it was like something engraved on there.
It's flaking. It's missing the whammy. It's missing the whammy bar. These had like a really big, fat, broad, strange shaped whammy bar. But I think I have one. I could replace it if I wanted to. It looks like somebody used epoxy for one of these switches. Yeah, so this is definitely seen some action.
And Bones says it looks like a Tiesco del Rey.
It could be. Well, yeah, the shape is definitely not Tiesco, but I think it's a Japanese knockoff type of thing. That it was like maybe mid to late 60s, early 70s. These were a big thing. I used to have one at something like this a long time ago.
Mr. C goes, looks like a Moserite knockoff. Yeah. Am I saying that right? Moserite.
Close enough, I think. And here's the cool one I got. Right. Those are pretty. Those other ones probably sound like crap, but. I thought, who cares for $60 a piece?
Oh wait, there's more.
Yeah, this one I got for $100, which I thought was really neat, and it's got
Moserite. Oh, Moserite.
Oh, Moserite.
That's how you pronounce it.
This one has a Floyd Rose tremolo on it. This is that same tremolo Eddie Van Halen used to use, and you can dive bomb all day with this thing, and the strings should stay in too. It doesn't have a locking nut on the top, but you could put one on there. There's something weird going on. The top here, and then but anyway, it's definitely a strange guitar. You can even see that as the hole in the
it's like a Swiss cheese guitar.
Yeah, through the body, through the pick guard.
Built-in cup holder, says Mark.
There you go.
Bone Jangler says looks like something Steve Vai would play.
Oh man, it does because of all the holes.
Must be Swiss, says Seth.
Ha ha ha. But it's made by Phantom Guitars. Now, that's what's interesting. This looks like a Kramer neck though, but. Look up, and I did some really fast research on Phantom. These other shaped guitars come up, and it seems like they're just locking in on one particular shape now. I can't think of the name of the guitar. It's a really weird one, but they're like $1,500 guitars. This one could be a little bit like maybe $1,000. I don't know. I have no clue. I can't find anything on it. I can't find anything on Phantom.
You might have to join like one of those guitar
Facebook groups.
Groups. And then have some guitar experts look over pictures.
Actually, that's a Phantom 6500.
And they'll be like, technically, it's,
But yeah, but it's
I'm
just
sure
fun.
there's some guitar nerds that would love to see the pictures.
It's just cool to, I don't really pick up a lot of stuff because you don't know what condition it's in, but they looked okay. And for like I said, I spent $220 on all 3 guitars. That's pretty cheap.
For 3 guitars.
Yeah, so
that's pretty good.
Those other ones could be like $500-$600 depending on the right day and the right buyer. But I don't know if I'm gonna keep them or if I'm gonna sell them. I don't know, but I like them. So I had fun.
I'm glad you had fun.
And what do you got there?
So this is something really interesting, and I think I want to do a separate video showing it in more detail.
You should.
But so I bought a bunch of jewelry and little stuff from the flea market, and I've been sorting through that. It's like ladies' costume jewelry from the 1950s. So, let me show that real quick a little bit, and then I'll get into this book. Like this I got from Hartville, and I'm trying to figure out what candy it was. But it's a little skull with googly eyes, and it says Hong Kong on the back. And it does open up like candy would be in it.
Yeah, gum that used to sell like chocolate.
If you guys remember back in the day, like if there was a certain brand that had that type of skull, put it in the comments. I'm still trying to figure out what this is. I know it's a candy dispenser. I just don't know like who put it out, like who made it, like what company or whatever. Let's see. But like, little stuff. I'm sorting through like pins. This is a Christmas tree pin. This is a milk glass lady's brooch from the 60s. There's like little necklaces in here. There's so much little stuff. It's tedious. So maybe that's why I've got a migraine. Because I've been going through jewelry today. So that's kind of like what I got. It's kind of tough to show on the webcam. You'll see more of it in our flea market video that's going up tonight. But then I also bought, along with the costume jewelry, I found this box, and it said Cartier, and I'm like Cartier. That's supposed to be a really fancy designer brand of jewelry, and in there was this ring, and I asked how much is the ring, and they're like $10, and I'm thinking $10, it's probably a fake, but for $10, it's kind of like a gamble. It's kind of like getting a lottery ticket to see if you're the winner, right? So that was my way of getting a lottery ticket. And it looks nice there in the case. It does look legit. But upon researching it further, this is probably a fake. But it does look really close to a Cartier love ring, and it is even marked Cartier on the inside. It's marked 750, and if you see any jewelry that's marked 750, 750 means 18 karat gold. Yeah, but I don't know what material this actually is. It might be like silver plated with some gold plating. So I don't know. So that's my $10 lesson learned to, if it's too good to be true, it might be. So I have my bootleg Cartier ring I'm wearing today. That'll be my good luck thrifting ring as a reminder.
Right. Yeah. So at the same vendor that I got these guitars at, we were looking around this table, there were 3 lithograph like kind of prints. The same artist did them. And they were really cool. They were very mid-century modern, cartoony, like little Chihuahua dogs, like playing in women's shoes. And one had a Western kind of a cowboy boot and a little Chihuahua dog hanging out of it. It was really, really cool line work. Just maybe 2 or 3 colors each one. They were really cool looking. I think the guy offered them maybe like $10. They had the price tag of 40 on them, but I'm like, 40 a piece. But he goes, don't worry about that. It's $10 each. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm looking at these guitars. I'm looking at that stuff. I'm like, and all the money's flying on my wallet. I'm like, okay, but do I need all this stuff? So before I buy anything there, before I even want to get these things, I do the thing we do and look it up. Mm-hmm. Look, the guy's name is clearly printed on there.
Jim
the artist,
Fisher,
Jim or James, either one. There was. Both names were on there. It was signed James Fisher, B. Fisher.
Did you take pictures of it?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I'm killing myself for just not even taking photographs.
Anyway, the pictures sold.
Am I telling the story? Whoa.
Sorry.
Did you just tell me?
Sorry.
Before you I'm telling the story.
Okay,
this is
go
my
ahead.
story.
All right, tell your story.
Right. So I'm deciding what I want to do. And I say, you know what? If it's meant to be, I was going to go off and get some more money or something, or try to figure out my Venmo login and all that kind of crap. And I said, so I paid for the first 2 guitars, those 2 knockoff, or the cheaper ones. And I'm like, well, I'll figure something out. Come back for those things. But I was gonna say, so let me stay on track. So we tried to look up this artist. It was both James and Jim were on the same thing. It was signed James B. Fisher, and I think on the actual printed signature, like it was on the actual artwork, it said Jim B. Fisher, F-I-S-H-R, F-I-S-H-E-R, Fisher, no C in there. Anyway, so looked up that name, found nothing on Google or on eBay.
And I told you it probably was an independent artist.
Boy, it was nice.
Maybe it wasn't someone who was famous.
But as an artist and a designer myself, and you even saw it too. And
or maybe later on they went by a different name. But
maybe.
These art pieces definitely looked unique. It looked very mid-century kitsch.
They were awesome.
They were really cute dog paintings.
It didn't look like someone's high school project. It was way too nice.
It was done really well, but it could have been an independent artist that just never got famous.
I'm not being pompous.
For one reason or another.
But I am a graphic designer, and so I understand that my eye can tell the difference.
We know you're an artist.
I'm just saying, but I don't want to come off as like, oh, I know it's good. They look. I don't know if they were.
I'm not a professional artist, but I knew there was something
special about them, right? They had that thing.
It had that look. But
the weird thing was.
But they were like yay big. They were in glass frames, and even though they looked cool, I thought I don't want to deal with shipping those.
They weren't quite that
I didn't want to have to ship those.
They
were like a decent size.
They're about like
that.
16 by 14. They were okay size. That has nothing to do with it, because you could repackage them if you had to send them and don't worry about the glass. But my point is that so. Looking at the weird thing was, as nice as they looked, you would think something would come up, right? We Google image searched it, we typed it in.
Some stuff isn't online.
eBay,
I mean, it could have just been an indie artist. Again, maybe he didn't have a lot of stuff online.
And I'm explaining that's why I didn't just say, here's the money. Because I was like, well, if I can't find anything on it, if I want to resell them, how am I going to resell them if there's nothing out there?
Yeah.
So that's why I left them there. I didn't leave them there. I wasn't hemming and hawing.
Well, you were trying to decide.
I was right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I was trying
you were trying to decide
whether
or not to buy them.
I was using our limited business acumen, the stuff that we have learned thus far.
And that's what that means. You're trying to decide.
There's lots of times
you're like, should I, shouldn't I?
There's a lot of time we would put $10 on stuff and it didn't turn out to be what we want it to be.
Right.
So,
I
didn't want to do that.
We have you've bought a ton of art before that. It's a slow seller. Most art is slow to sell.
But we could have hung that up here. It would have fit in with our
We don't
stuff.
have any space to hang it up.
Well, nobody knows. Well, you know what I mean. It's cool enough we could have
It
done
is
something
very
with it.
cool, though. But not for us. I mean, it would be cool to sell, but not to keep.
So that's what I was thinking first. If I'm going to buy some stuff, I want to sell this one. So that's why I didn't buy them at first. But then when I got the Venmo working, I go back over to the table to buy that Phantom guitar, because I really wanted that, because he only wanted $100 for it, and I was going to add that to it. But what do you know? As soon as I get back there, less than a half an hour later, they're in a pile. And it's not like the guy just was going to buy them. They had some weird thing going on with the guy that was buying these pictures.
Well, the guy was trying to steal from them.
We don't have to go into that. But let's put it this way.
There was a whole thing, and we won't tell this. Yeah.
No, I'm not. There was something going on where it almost seemed like the guy wasn't going to get him. I'm like, oh, I still have a chance. No, they worked it out, and he walked off with the pictures. I'm like, shoot. But here's the big part of this thing is I was going to say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat my crow and just deal with the loss, because that's what it was. Let me finish.
Well, I'm going to add to something when you're done.
That's fine. So I go home. We get home. I go right up to the computer to do a deeper search on a computer instead of the phone, which is sometimes limited and hard to do.
And you still couldn't find anything.
Not a gosh darn thing.
So if I had to decide between guitars or the art, as cool as the guitars are, I have sold mid-century artwork in the past, even though it's a pain in the butt to sell. So personally, if I had to decide, because I don't play guitar, because I don't know guitars,
this guitar,
even though I like hearing guitars,
this guitar here could sell for like $300, $400.
I would probably go with the art for the 30 or whatever they were offering, in hopes I could flip it for 150 or 200.
Yeah, it was cool
because it was very cool looking, but.
Well, the thing is with that guitar, that with the Phantom guitar.
Yeah.
When I went back and had to deal with that. As soon as I'm like 2 seconds away from figuring out how to get the Venmo thing together, a kid comes up and goes, "How much is that one?" You know, or he wanted to buy it, and they looked over.
And well, you guys were preoccupied, and I said, someone's already buying it.
What, the guitar?
Yeah, I heard that guy, and
well, he was pointing at it like he was interested.
Well, yes, I heard him pointing, and I saw him, and then you were trying to get Venmo working, and you were talking with the vendors, and I said, yeah, someone's trying to buy that now.
Yeah, and yeah. So I almost lost that guitar too.
Okay,
but that
so
was I just wanted to do a good. I was hoping that loss could have turned into a real neat, you snooze you lose thing. But
you can't you can't overthink this stuff.
And I'm not.
And you totally are with those art pieces.
No, but I try to turn it into something for the show. I was like, well, that's just a lesson learned to anybody out there who might hesitate on something that you see. But the problem is I can't.
At the same time, I can understand why someone would be hesitant to making certain purchases.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's read some comments, and then I wanted to show this book. So, all right. Oh, does all real jewelry have numbers? Oh, meaning like certain markings?
No.
I could do a whole video just on jewelry markings. Yes and no. Not all jewelry is marked, but there are certain jewelry markings that are good. Like the gold markings, silver markings, different makers' marks.
Well, we watched a video
things like that
tonight right before the show where a guy had a button. This guy's a huge jewelry guy, and he had what he's guessing was a button. It was a piece of jade with gold around it.
It wasn't jade. It was an emerald.
Or emerald.
Yeah.
A green thing.
But it wasn't marked, and he had to test the gold.
Right. So so not all.
Jewelry has markings on it, but it can be tested for if it's 14 karat or sterling or things like that. Neil says, I hate it when I go to yard sales and they don't put prices on anything. Yeah, some people might just be like, oh, make an offer or make a pile,
You know what you should tell too after your book story? The pretentious hipster yard sale listing.
Yes. Hold on a sec. We went to Hartville on Memorial Day. It was crazy busy. Area Thrifty 1. Oh, we must have missed you then because we were there that same day. Do you find art to be long tail items when you sell them? Yeah, art is long tail. Some of it. Some of it could sell quick if it's like a certain subject matter, but a lot of art is a little... I noticed it's slower. I've had some things take a while to sell.
These were recently tuned up to like they're open to a regular tuning.
Don't feel bad about the ring, artwork, or anything for that matter. You can always make a good score, even at the Salvation Army, says Michael. Good point. Yeah. There's always, and I tell him all the time, there's always going to be stuff.
Yep, I know
and we have a lot of stuff already.
But but when you see like a prize fight, let's say, and there's a winner and a loser, the loser still feels like they should have won. Nobody feels, even if you know what I'm saying, you still want to win all the time.
Garas fan says, because you said 750 means it's real, right? No, I said that when I researched this ring, that is marked Cartier, and it is marked 750. But there were other indicators that tell me this is fake. I had to do some research online to see what the real thing looked like and how it was made, and this, after researching it, is fake, even though it is marked 750. This is not real 18 karat gold. But yeah, 750 is a good marking to look for because it could be a good indicator that it is 18 karat, and then you would have to have a jeweler, test it, or you would buy like one of those testing kits.
I might keep this one. It feels good. Some of these older, the action's all weird on them and everything, but this one actually feels good.
Cool. Oh. Spooky Boo says, picked up an authentic Gucci bag for 10 cents at a garage sale.
Oh.
Sold it on eBay for 50. Oh, it's probably worth a lot more than 50. Gucci's usually worth a lot more than that.
Remember the one just this year, but last summer I found a Gucci, it was a notepad.
I remember that.
It was like really old. It must have been from the 40s, right? At least.
It was a leather bound. It
might have been earlier than that.
Notepad to put your notes in.
That even had initials the initials on it. I bought it for 50 cents and it sold for over 200, like $250.
Yeah. Actually, I don't find much Gucci. I've only found 1 or 2 Gucci pieces that were real. I have found a couple of Fendi pieces before. Like, one time I found a Fendi bag someone was selling, like, with their yard sale for $4. And after researching it, because I bought it for $4 thinking, well, it's probably fake, but I'll buy it just in case it's real. And after researching it, yeah, I sold it for like a couple $100. So that was cool. Yeah, it's tough sometimes because there's a lot of counterfeits and fakes, and you're not supposed to sell counterfeits and fakes. You could get those removed from your eBay. You could get your eBay account suspended.
Doesn't eBay have an authentication program now where I just sold a pair of Nike or Converse?
They have it for shoes and bags. Yeah, and I think for even some jewelry, if it's a certain dollar amount.
So it goes through them first after you sell it.
Yes.
After you sell it.
They inspect it to make sure.
And then they
send the buyer a certificate to prove that it's real. That it's the real deal. It was inspected. That's
nice.
So that's kind of cool that that's a service they offer. But so this I didn't buy it, but it found us.
Right.
A friend of ours wants help selling it, and this is really cool. This is a piece of history.
Now you know that book they keep talking about, like where your name goes in it, God's book, and it says all the good and bad things you've done. We got that book. No. We got it. Oh boy, are you in trouble now?
He's joking.
No. No, it's not really that.
So this is from 1934. It's a criminal docket. So this is like, it has like reports in it of like pretty much all the bad things people have done in 1934. And this is from, I forgot what town in Ohio.
Doesn't matter.
But it has like, oh, it's so cool. It has,
Santa's good and bad boy book.
It's got like the alphabetical, it's all in order there.
All these people are dead, by the way.
Oh, well, yeah.
The person that wrote it, everyone in it.
This was over 100 years ago, so yeah.
It's that old? What year is it?
1934.
Oh, geez.
It's almost 100 years old.
It's not 100. Is it already 2003?
It's 2023, so it's almost...
It is?
I said almost 100 years old.
So
almost.
They're dead for
almost.
Sure.
Like 90-something.
But it's a police blotter, right?
It's, no, not quite.
Oh.
This is like, it's a criminal docket, so it's like when people go to court for things. So this is from Lorain County.
Okay.
This is Lorain County from 1934.
Really yeah.
Let's see. There was one in here. It was kind of funny. It was like about a man swearing in front of a lady. He swore in front of a lady. But yeah, I want to show some of these in a video. I think that'd be kind of cool.
This is all out of team.
Yeah, but I want to get this listed in the near future.
$1.50. Dude, this guitar's $1.50, man.
Oh, 31st day of October, 1933, in the county of Lorain, state of Ohio.
Dude.
Charge of operating a certain automobile unlawfully, willfully and purposefully operated said automobile upon the public roads or highways without due regard for the safety and rights of pedestrians and drivers and occupants. All other vehicles, and so as to endanger the life, limb, or property of any person. Blah, 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 blah. I guess he was driving recklessly or something. But yeah, this is really interesting.
Very good.
And there's all kinds of,
What's it say on the spine there?
It says criminal.
Criminal. Show that.
Boom.
From
1934, criminal docket.
That's awesome. That's cool. So you're gonna try to sell that for him?
Yeah, I'm selling that. I'm helping a friend sell that.
Very neat.
So if I, those are kind of rare, and I haven't done a ton of research on it yet, so I need time to look it up. But yeah, that's definitely one of a kind.
So you got one more story to tell, right? The hipster yard sale.
Yeah.
Listing.
So I guess we could talk about that, and then probably
whatever you want to do. I just thought that was kind of funny.
Last weekend we were also looking up yard sale ads because there's different apps and different posts, and you can look up like Facebook Marketplace, you can look up Craigslist, wherever people post yard sales. And I found one that was kind of like a really funny ad, and let me I have a screenshot.
Oh, thank God! I was going to say, please tell me you saved that.
I took a screenshot of it. Yeah,
because you have to read it exactly the way it was put.
It made me laugh so much.
So this is coming from someone who reads a lot of these ads, and they're very usually, are our yard sale starts at 10 a.m. and please, bring a bag or something like that. It's just very whatever. This thing was very detailed, very specific.
Just getting rid of some stuff we like, but don't have room for. Probably start around 9. Probably start around 9.
Boy.
And see how things go.
Oh, okay.
Everything is priced to sell, so we're not super interested in haggling.
Just taking all the fun out of going to any kind of...
That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah. Dude.
Cash, Venmo, or PayPal, please.
Venmo, dude. I should read it in that hipster voice.
I'll be adding a few things over the course of the week. Here's a spreadsheet of what we will have for sale.
Spreadsheet?
Dude, you have PowerPoint? Here's a PowerPoint. We probably will start around 9.
Probably around 9.
We're not really interested in that.
So, what if they decide to set up at noon instead?
We'll probably.
Probably.
It could be 8:59. It might be 9:02. Not really sure, dude. It might. Who knows? Might even start the next day. I don't know.
Not super interested in haggling. Not super interested in haggling.
Very personal. That's written in a very personal way. Dude, they're not interested. Not super interested. I just thought, it's a very dicky yard sale. Who it just turns right away? We're like, no.
Well, and here's need to get rid of stuff.
Dude.
Price to sell. Not interested in haggling. It's a lot of contradictory statements.
You're really not that interested in getting a lot of them.
So, do you want to sell your stuff or not?
Yeah, it's not like something's going to be a quarter.
Are you going to be there or not? Probably.
Who knows, dude?
Probably.
It depends if I wake up.
So we decided not to go to that sale.
Dude.
We're not going to say where it was.
Not super interested, man. And,
but that was a yard sale ad I found, and it made me laugh a lot. And it's making me laugh again.
We'll have tacos and craft beer, man. But we're not gonna.
But they took the time to make a spreadsheet.
It got better and better as you read that.
Items they sold.
I thought we were done at not super interested in haggling.
No, and then there was more.
Spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Like who the fuck? Don't you have to have how do you open that up on your phone? A spreadsheet? I don't think you can.
After the sale, look in the dumpster, says John.
Yeah, it'll be full. It'll be overflowing. People, man. But just when you think you've seen it all. Spreadsheet boy comes out of the woodwork. Dude, I have spreadsheets.
I'm guessing that was their first time ever running a sale. Maybe they're not very experienced with it. Or maybe they've never shopped a sale themselves.
I'm pretty sure
they're not experienced with any of it.
Oh, but they're gonna tell you.
And they're trying to figure it out.
But yeah, and I'm again, not to harp on this, but I just think a spreadsheet is. I don't think you can open up a spreadsheet. I think you have the word.
Well, and in the ad, it's like whatever link they put, it's all like.
Oh, hyperlink.
Like not, like it didn't save on there well or something.
Cash App.
Like you can't click it. Whatever link they tried to put on there.
Oh boy, dude.
If you're gonna put that much effort into it, just put it online or something. Usually, when you have a yard sale or something, it's like stuff you don't want to deal with.
That was an easy.
You just want to get rid of it.
That was easy. No way we're gonna go to that one.
It's like, nah, I think I'll pass on that.
Turn off.
No, thank you.
I'll go out on a date with you, but don't expect me to even look in your eyes or hold your hand. No kissing until. Say, Mister, here's a spreadsheet on our date. Does he do everything with a spreadsheet?
Was it like Dilbert or something?
For our wedding night, I have a spreadsheet of the activities we'll perform in our nuptials and what we're going to do afterwards.
What if they had amazing things? They might have, but that ad was kind of a turnoff. So I'll never know, I guess.
Well, if you put it right in the pile of those pictures I didn't get, you just whatever.
Oh well.
Move on.
Always
forward, always.
But yeah, just trying to keep up with the eBay beast and feed the eBay beast by putting in more listings into the store, building up the inventory, sorting through all that little junk I've been buying. And, I also have a bunch of stuff I need to donate to the thrift stores.
Yes,
where
we do.
I thought it could have been a good thing, and then it wasn't. Sometimes we do have bad buys, or sometimes we just declutter, like, from our own collections.
That should be a store name, Bad Buys.
Bad Buys. Not like Best Buy.
We have a spreadsheet of all the bad buys. Maybe that guy can run it.
Neil says he'd check your credit first.
Yes.
Did you ever sell those fancy Art Deco lamps you had?
Which ones?
Which ones?
They'll just tell you.
I have a glass Art Deco lamp for sale in my eBay store. I'm trying to think if I do. Let's see. I'm trying to remember.
Look it up. You got your phone right there. Go into your.
Go into eBay and check my solds.
Just look. Go to your.
I'll just type in lamps.
Solds or your.
He's asking if I sold them.
Well, what if it doesn't? What if you sold them 2 years ago?
Well, maybe he's asking recently.
I don't know.
I have some lamps listed for sale.
That's what I'm saying. Check your.
I have a bunch of them.
Your
still,
actives.
Yeah, I still have.
Art Decos.
There's some that are kind of deco-ish.
Well, we don't know which ones he's talking about.
I
so
don't
it doesn't
know.
really matter.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you sell those toys?
The lamp. Okay.
I don't know.
The lamps. There was a set you wanted 500.
Was it the?
I did sell a set. It was maybe a year or two ago. I sold them for $1,000.
The lucite ones.
The lucite lamps.
That might have been those.
They were like Deco Revival, but they were from the 1980s. Some French brand. Yeah, I found those at a thrift store for $20 each, and I bought them, and they sat for like 3 years, but they did sell. Someone in New York bought them, so I'm picturing like a real swanky, ritzy apartment, and they've got these fancy lamps in their place.
Or maybe their place is a wreck, and those are the only nice things in there.
No, I'm trying to paint a nice picture.
I'm not. I'm saying since I don't know, it might as well be the other way.
I'm imagining like something nice.
That could have been some hobos, like, all the money they had. I want to get those lamps and put them in my alleyway so I look fancy. You don't know. Could be.
Okay.
I found a nice place with an outlet I could plug stuff into.
Okay.
So I'm going to get some nice lamps put there.
You guys should come up with a skit that spoofs on that yard sale, says Rick.
Dude. I would love to. I don't.
Maybe.
It's already written.
Yeah, I mean, the jokes write themselves.
Mr. No Sale. Well, we could totally do a skit on how.
A skit on what not to do for yard sales.
All the wrong things. There are so many, and it would only be funny. It might be funny. Most people go to yard sales. They would get it.
Yeah.
No, don't make it too inside, but yeah, there's all kinds of things you could do.
Yeah.
To make a yard sale skit funny. No, we've been to places, and the flea market was full of vendors that had stuff ridiculously high. Like, they're in the wrong place to sell that stuff. It's not that they couldn't sell it, but there's no one going to shell out some of the money for some of these things.
And then whatever doesn't sell there, they could take to an antique event, like an antique sale or something.
But what's weird is, like, you'll go to
They
one
probably
vendor,
go to a bunch of different shows,
so, literally, you can go to one vendor, and the same item they'll have for $10. You'll go a few tables over, the same thing or equivalent, like $1 or 50 cents. Those are the ones we look for, obviously.
Yes.
And I'm still amazed at the value a quarter has with some people. Like, people are still sell stuff for a quarter.
Well, like I love there was one person selling a bunch of stuff for $1.
That was good.
There were all these different totes, and it was a mishmash of things, and she's just like, everything's $1.
That's a smart. She wanted to get rid of her stuff.
I'm like, cool, okay. So then we made a little pile and got a bunch of stuff for like $1 each.
But does she have a spreadsheet of everything?
No, she does not.
Does she take Cash App and Venmo?
Jim Harold's joining us. Wow.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Jim Harold.
My old classmate, Jim Harold from elementary school.
He says, fantastic set, looking good. Well, we're out of character today, but thank you.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't think this is my costume. or no one can tell a difference. But yeah, so fun stuff. Yeah, we're constantly learning, and cool stuff's happening. I mean, we get stuff. We did the thing where we opened that door. We told people what we do, and we get stuff offered to us all the time. To shop early at places at certain events,
or to help work their sales, or to help sell their things.
Yeah, people just they got a bunch of junk.
We're really grateful and just really thankful for all these opportunities.
Yeah, I've worked a lot harder. This is the hardest I've worked.
Yeah, because we are working like all the time, but
I love it.
It's work that we care about.
Yeah, I don't worry about being fired every day.
Yeah,
even though
work that we care about.
Even with my full-time job, it's like I know that if something ever happened, I feel like I'll be all right because I can figure stuff out. I'm not as afraid as I used to be when I was younger about losing a job or not having a job, a full-time-ish job. But if you have a job and you like it and a career, stick with it. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're not putting down anyone who's got like a regular job because
especially if you work for a great place. I mean, if you can find a place like that, that's
hey,
nice.
I mean, for 10 years, I worked a regular square retail job where I worked nights, weekends, holidays. I would work late at night one night and then go back in at 7 a.m. the next morning, working all weird hours. And, dealt with all kinds of people.
So, now you have to deal with me and the yard sale boy.
And yard sale people.
Dude.
But
Captain Spreadsheet.
So I'm still doing a lot of work, but it's not as, at least it's work that I like to do.
And you're in control of what you do.
Yeah.
And as opposed to being at we had a 25%, a 2% decrease in this quarter. We have to let some people go. So
but even though it was a modest, it was kind of a blah job, I was still able to have a roof over my head.
But that's why they never let you go, is because you actually worked and then some.
Well, yeah, because I did the job of 3 people.
Yeah, they only paid one person.
And they only got You
didn't get the paycheck of 3 people.
I didn't get the paycheck of 3 people. No.
Yeah, well, a lot of jobs are doing that too now, socking out a bunch of responsibility, and not giving you the extra pay for it. But
yeah. But, all right, so we will have a new Harry Scary Hangout, episode 203. This Friday night at 8:45 p.m. Eastern. We will announce the movie in the next day or so on our Facebook fan page, on Instagram, Twitter, on YouTube here, all the social medias. Mm-hmm. And if you guys like, you can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Here on YouTube, we post things in the community section. So that way people know, when we have a new video out, what we're doing and things like that.
Yeah, and check out Jim Harold's podcast. He does a paranormal podcast.
Yeah.
Just look up Jim Harold on Facebook or just Google his name. You will find him.
And we hope that, maybe we can have each other on each other's shows.
Well, that'd be nice.
So that would be cool to cross-promote, Jim. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
I'd love
nudge,
that.
Nudge, nudge.
No.
And we're probably going to head out soon, sign off from the YouTube here, but thank you guys for joining us. And any last words, hon?
Do everything that you do every day, put into a spreadsheet and send it to me so I can know what you're up to. But I'm not interested in haggling. We probably will be starting our show on Friday around, I don't know, about 8:45.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. And then we'll see. And then after we probably start at 8:45, we'll see how it goes. Transcripts will be available on a spreadsheet. I'm sorry, I can't. This guy's just
okay, guys. Well, good
That's
night.
it.
Good fright. Mwah.
Bye.
See ya.
Be good.
Thank you.